Hi, I'm Davinia Taylor. I am a mother of 4 boys. I'm 46 and I'm the founder of WillPowders. And the reason why I developed WillPowders was out of absolute necessity. So for most of my adult life, I have really struggled with losing weight. I was constantly yo-yo dieting, be it Weight Watchers, Slimming World, even those shakes, I mean the usual suspects. I've tried them all and they just don't work. What I didn't realise was I needed to fuel myself. I needed to fuel my brain. And would you believe it? The answer lay in the humble fat molecule. Now it's a good fat, but it's fat all the same, so it's something to get your head around. But believe you me, once you fuel your brain with fat, you do not need the processed foods that we are all addicted to. Before I developed the WillPowders products, I felt sluggish, I didn't have any enthusiasm, I was snapping at the kids, I felt like I was wading through mud all the time. People were telling me, oh, I had to go for a run. I couldn't be bothered to go for a walk. And I used to be that person who parked right next to the supermarket. So much so I'd actually turn around and drive home if there wasn't a space. So this is what I was tackling, absolute cannot be botheredness. As soon as I started changing my fuel source in my brain, and I'm talking immediately that day, I felt a boost in my mood and my energy went up. I was feeling depressed, I was feeling unmotivated, I felt my self-esteem was on the floor, I felt lazy, I felt uninspired. What I was feeling even more tired and more sluggish when I was eating the usual foods that we are told are healthy. The messaging is wrong, they're telling us low fat, high sugar. Of course this is warping my brain. Once I discovered good fats, specifically a medium chain triglyceride, I know it's a mouthful, MCT, that changed everything for me because I discovered a fuel source that cut out my cravings immediately, within 5 minutes. For me, that was the first step, getting ahead of my cravings by implementing this new ingredient, the medium chain triglyceride, which is basically a posh word for brain fuel. I realised that I didn't need to keep eating all day. In fact, I realised all the food I was eating was just kicking off my digestive system. And of course, when that happens, it takes energy from your brain to your gut. So of course you feel sleepy. You know, we all feel sleepy after a big roast dinner. It's like a carb coma. I was doing that throughout the day from the minute I got up. From the bowl of granola, whole grain toast, honey on top of that because it's good for you. I was just constantly digesting these foods throughout the day, living in a funk. It was horrible. So it was really interesting for me to be able to suddenly be enthusiastic about, oh, should we change the decor? Should we go for a walk? Should we go shopping together? I mean, it opened up my world and I started feeling a bit more joyous and optimistic about being a mum, about life really. And it literally is. You take away certain ingredients and your brain works freely like it was meant to. Let me give you an example where counting chemicals, not calories, is absolutely mandatory. Right, so I used to do the old meal deal and I'd always think, right, I'll have the low calorie one, which would be the prawns with the low fat mayonnaise on brown bread. All very good, very good. But when you turn that prawn sandwich around and you look at the label, you start seeing these little pseudo ingredients in there that really shouldn't be in our food chain. That actually are there to preserve the product, giving them more profit, but it actually wrecks with your gut microbiome, the gut-brain connection. So you end up eating that butty and you think, yeah, good, low calorie, and then it kicks off a craving for, guess what, the crisps, and guess what, a chocolate bar, and then guess what, a can of Coke, because your energy is plummeting really quickly. And this is the problem with counting calories. It only gives you half the story. It's the chemicals that react in your brain that tell you to do, maybe put your trainers on and go for a run, or actually put your slippers on and shuffle to the fridge and get something else to eat. So that is why this stuff is so important. You need to understand what's working for you. And these chemicals are not working for any of us. This probably goes against everything you've been taught, but trust me, once you start this WillPowders journey, the power will go back into your hands and you'll be able to do whatever you want. Don't look at the marketing on the front, turn it around, see what's on the back and probably put it back. The reason I wrote this book, It's Not a Diet, was because I had so much information in here I needed to get out to you guys. And it's really easy to read, there's no war and peace. And at the back, there's a 2-week reset, which is a no-brainer. If you literally don't have energy to do that, I understand. So what I would suggest is you change one thing first thing in the morning. So when you get up, you have your tea or your coffee, swap out the milk and add in this. This keto creamer not only tastes good, it's full of brilliant, really good for you fats that fuel your brain so you're gonna feel sharp, focused and energized all day. This collagen is made from amino acids, the building blocks of life, which your brain is constantly seeking. And when you run low on these, it'll say, come on, we need to eat food. If you give it amino acids, it's not gonna seek snacks. If you start using these WillPowders products in your tea and coffee throughout the morning, I can guarantee your brain will not be seeking the meal deals at 11 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, this will change your relationship with food and it'll help you press pause on overeating. Let me give you an example of how these can change the trajectory of a normal day for me. So I was shopping, I was in Dunnes, and I thought, right, I need a bottle of water. So I was queuing up at their cafe, and to like the right-hand side, they've got this massive display of like cinnamon swirls and biscuits and brownies and everything. I mean, all the stuff that I generally love. But because I just have a coffee with this and this in, I wasn't interested in the cakes. I literally went, whatever. Now that is power. The ability to press pause, nah, I'm all right, I don't want a brownie. For me to be able to say, nah, I'm all right, and literally not want it, no willpower required, is a small miracle. 9 times out of 10, you don't really want that junk, you're just compelled because your brain's starving. Genius. If you start your morning the WillPowders way by putting keto powder and collagen into your tea and coffee all morning, I can absolutely guarantee you're gonna wanna skip breakfast. And don't be worried about it, you're doing your body a huge service by doing that. Your brain's gonna be sharp, you're gonna be more focused and more energized. Don't worry about skipping breakfast, just move on and enjoy your lunch. We hack into the brain chemistry so you don't seek these junk foods, so you don't want cereal, you don't want toast, you don't want brownies, and that is a freedom from all the processed food that we've been raised on, really. How about you have 2 or 3 coffees or teas, you can have it in herbal tea as well, with these products in throughout your morning, and see if you can stay away from the croissants or whatever your kryptonite is. I guarantee it's going to be a lot easier with these bad boys. If this sounds too good to be true, trust me, it's not. I lost 4 stone, I've got 4 kids, and I'm 46 and I've kept the weight off. This is an education for you. It's exciting, it's a wonderful journey. You will learn how to nourish mind, body and soul in a whole new way. Get on it.